Hi, this is Claudia Manchanda, radical herbalist, on Thursday, the day of Jupiter, and I'm here to introduce this beautiful plant called Solidago or Golden Seal in northwest London in July. There are many species of Solidago in herbal medicine, and Solidago means to make whole or to heal. The European variety is called Solidago virguoria, and one of the species in Turtle Island is called Solidago canadensis, but I will talk more about the other species. A lot of the medicinal varieties are characterized by having these spikes, which are also called racemes or panicles or corymbs, and it's in the same family as dandelion or daisy, which is called the Asteraceae family. And if I zoom in close, and you look at what looks like a flower, in fact each individual what appears to be a flower is actually many flowers of disc and ray florets, a bit like dandelions and daisies. So goldenrod is a late summer bloomer, and sometimes it blooms right up until autumn. In herbal medicine, it is predominantly the first third, the top third of the plant that's used, the flowers, and also the leaves can be used as a tea. It's aromatic, and it has kinship relationships with many insects, beetles, butterflies, including monarchs, moths, wasps, paper moths, wasps, honeybees. Wasps can actually form parasitic galls in the stem and the flower bud of the plant. The leaves are, these kind of have a kind of mildew on them, but the leaves are pinnate and have tooth ridges at the end, and they whirl around the plant alternately. When goldenrod is moved sort of globally, it contributes towards the extinction of many indigenous species, and I believe it's because it has such strong chemicals that it's so sturdy that it's able to compete with other plants. And apparently in a study done in 2004 showed that goldenrod had contributed towards the extinction of 30 plants in Shanghai, and they did epigenetic testing on the plant, so it wasn't confused with the Chinese Solidago. So Solidago has traditional history in medicine in European traditions, Chinese medicine, and Turtle Island traditions. In Mandarin, it's called Yi Ji Huan Hua, and in Cantonese, it's called Yat Ji Feng Fa. In Arabic, it's called Kadib Dahab, and its key actions are anti-catarrhal, antiseptic to mucous membranes. It's used for weak stomachs where people are prone to diarrhea and nausea, vomiting. It's used for tonsillitis with pus. It's used for hoarse throat, and it's used for chronic urinary infections, particularly when there's dark, scanty urine. And I often think of these yellow-coloured plants as having an affinity for the liver and for urinary system. Also, a lot of urinary system plants have affinity with the respiratory tract and vice versa. And in utero, there was a lot of correlation with the formation of our urinary and respiratory systems, and often urinary herbs and respiratory herbs work interchangeably. So in Chinese medicine, goldenrod is used for the urinary system, for kidney water congestion and kidney stagnation, and that relates to relieving edema, and it's a draining diuretic, which will have an effect on helping with the skin as well. It also has an affinity for the upper respiratory tract and dries up secretions, much in the same way that elderflower and plantain does with seasonal rhinitis or allergic upper respiratory conditions. Peter Holmes recommends this herb for chronic, intractable, damp, cold, chronic catarrh, and also for chronic kidney infections. He describes the herb as a kidney tropho restorative for the and used, yes, for chronic conditions. In Turtle Island, gambling is a sacred practice, and gambling is a sacred chance, and this herb is used as a gambling and love medicine, and much of life is about taking gambles. Toni Morrison said the freedom is being able to take a risk, and goldenrod is a remedy to help you with your risks. The flowering tops have been made as a poultice for burns by Chipwe people, and as a tea for wounds, and chewed to treat sore throats by Zuni people. And this is a book I have on Indigenous Turtle Island medicine, written by Indigenous people. The Carnilla people used Solidago californica for toothaches, hair rinse and burns. The Iroquois have used the roots, the flowers as emetics and to treat the liver, and Solidago juncea for nausea. The Menominee have used the dried powder of Solidago flexicalis as a snuff for headaches, and the Cherokee have used Solidago odora to treat coughs. The stems of Solidago gigantea have been used to weave baskets. The sweet goldenrod has been used to treat colic and flatulence and diarrhea. The flowers of Solidago can be infused in an oil for arthritis and then made into a balm and mixed with other anti-inflammatory plants. So to finish off, this herb is aromatic. It's a vulnerary, so it heals and cleans skin. The tea cleans wounds. It cleans out and can be used for burns. It's cold and drying. It's astringent and seals open skin conditions. It dries up clogged, soggy sinuses. It's a decongestion for allergies. It's a bitter that stimulates the liver. It's antihistaminic and contains bioflavonoids that stops allergies, and it helps with diarrhea. It's particularly useful for travellers' diarrhea and infections caused by food poisoning. Maud Greaves, in her 1931 herbal said that goldenrod was good for stones in the bladder, for old ulcers. That's referring to skin, because people had skin ulcers back in the day. For dysmenorrhea, which is painful periods, and for amenorrhea, which is loss of periods or scanty periods. The flowering tops can be made into a tea for a douche for candida, or a tea for a mouthwash for oral candida, or a gargle. Because the top third is harvested, another way of collecting leaves in a sustainable way for teas, makes quite a delicious tea, is just to pick random leaves off and then leave the flowers for pollinators. See you next time.